Guys, welcome to another session of data visualization in Python. So we are using a library called the Plotly, and in this library we will learn how uh, to plot interactive diagrams and graphs. So let's get started. So you have to install these libraries. So we have Plotly and Cufflinks. So what these libraries do is that Plotly, it helps you to draw interactive diagrams, but however, it's made in JavaScript. For it to be connected to Python, you have to install Cufflinks. So to install Plotly, you just need to use pip install Plotly, as simple as that. It's the same thing with Cufflinks. So you do this in your terminal or CMD for those who are using Windows 10 below. So let's get started. So first of all, I have to import pandas as pd and import numpy as np. Then let's run this to make sure that our kernel is running. Yes, it's running. So let's just say from Plotly import version, because I want you to check my version, check if it's the same. So let us just do __ version, then __, and let's just import matplotlib.pyplot as prt, and let's do our magic code matplotlib %matplotlib inline, so that we can learn our code inside the notebook. Let's learn this. Yes, we are good to go. Let's print out the version, so we can just do __ version and __ here. Let's learn. So I'm using version of Plotly 5.909. so let's import Cufflinks as a CF. Now this Cufflinks library, it's going to help us connect our Plotly library, which is made JavaScript, to pandas, so that we can do some visualization easily. Now from Plotly, I want to get the offline library, because Plotly is a company. So for you to use their resources, for example, if you want to do visualization online, you have to pay, but it has got an offline session whereby you can do visualization inside your notebook offline without putting it online. So that version is free. So from this, I want to import download _plot JS. So this one is, as I already said, it's made in JavaScript. So for you to use it on Python, you have to import Cufflinks. So that's it. Now I have also to import init notebook, so that I can work with it in our notebook. So we need to import init notebook, init _notebook _mod. Now I have to import another method called plot and iplot. These ones will help us to plot our libraries. Now let me initialize an object init mod, init notebook mod, and make sure it's connected. So what I'm trying to do is to make sure I have connected to my notebook right here. So make sure connected is equal to true. Now let me initialize also an object from Cufflinks, cf.go _offline, and let me learn this, and we are now done with the setup. So what we're doing here, we're just setting up the environment with Plotly and Cufflinks. Now let's build our dataset, df pd.dataframe. Inside that data frame, I want to have a dimensional array. So np.random.randn, and in here let's just say 100 by 2, and let's say columns, and in here let's do let's build this one. So I'm using the split method here, and this split method will turn that string to a list. And yeah, what is happening right here? Columns, let me see the error. Shape of past, yes, I need to put 4 here. I need to make sure that I do have 4, not 2, because yeah, it didn't make any sense. We have 100 by 4, but yet our columns are we did had 100 by 2, but yet our columns were 4. So we wanted to fix that, and this is our data frame. Now let's actually before we do our visualization, let us actually make another data frame. In this case, I'm going to make it from a dictionary. So let me make it from a dictionary right here. And Python is very sensitive to indenting, so just make sure that you are indenting correctly. So our dictionary will have categories and I will have, these will be the column names. So let me just put here A, B, and C. Yep, and let's add values here. And then these values, we talked about this before, so I believe let me just add the dummy values here: 42, 43, and 50. Let me learn this, and if I say df1 here, let me learn, you see there is our data frame. So we talked about how we can create these data frames in pandas. Now let's do dfprot. So we are using the pandas visualization tool. You can see that we do have this plot, which doesn't look amazing, but however, guess what, if we just add an eye here and learn this, wow, it has changed, and now it's interactive. Look at that. We can actually switch this off, switch this off, switch this off, and get the values right here. And you can actually zoom in and get the values that you want depending on the scale, and that's how you can actually do that. Now you can actually go back by using this auto scale and still add this. How powerful is that? By just adding one letter I. Now you can also change the type. I can just say df.iplot and put here kind. Remember, it's from Seaborn. I can just like scatter here and put x here and a, because I'm taking from the it takes the x and y columns. So here, let me add this one. Let me just say b, and let's say mod markers, so that we can have our markers right there. So we can just say mod is equal to markers. If you are confused about these things, you can just let shift enter and you get to know the parameters that you can put here. So you can see we have different by the themes, the x and y title. You can always add these things. How crazy is it? You can do interpolation, you can do symbols. So by default they are circles. You can actually add crazy things. Oh my goodness, these are crazy. I'm telling you, you can add these things inside one line of code, but we're not going to go crazy. Let's add the size here to be 20 and learn this. So if we go around here, you see that there are lots of I think this screen, because it's my laptop screen is a little bit smaller, that's why you are seeing these ones chunked right here, but you can actually decrease the size and learn this, and you see that they are a little bit spaced. Now let's go and add, for example, bar charts right here. So let's do df1 dot iplot, because we have few data sets on that data frame. So let me just say kind is equal to bar. Just change the kind, and because it's a bar chart, I need to put the x and y. So the x will be the category, and the y is going to be the values. And here we are, we do have the same things here. You see, you can actually see, and it makes sense, because if you hover around here, you see the bar name and the actual value right here. So it makes sense to get these ones. Now you can get more insight with these. For example, if we go to df, the first one, we can just say sum, so that we can sum the values depend on each and every plot. So I can just say iplot here and go here and say kind is equal to bar, and run this. Let's see, you see that it has added, and we don't have a positive result. And if we add the positive and negatives, that these are the results that we can get. And yeah, that's how you can do that with Python. And we can also add our box plot. If those who are having interest in forex trading, you appreciate this. So if I can say kind here, I can just say box. So what we're seeing here is the box plot, and this actually is also interactive, because we can switch the box that we don't want and switch back the ones that we want, and we can zoom in to get more of the values that we want right here. Now let's actually do a customizable data frame. I think this one is very I would say it's not as usual data frame. It's a 3D dimension. We call it surface plot. But before we do that, let's make a customizable data frame. I think I do have 2D. I think, yeah, you can just say df2 here is equal to pd.dataframe. And in this, let's put a dictionary, because we want to customize our data frame. Make sure your indentation is correct, and let's put here x, and let's make sure that we have the correct values. Just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and let's add another data key here, and let's add the values. So I want 10, and I'll show you what I mean if I say I'm making a customizable data set here. And let's go to Z, and here let's make this customizable data set 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. let's learn this. Okay, if I forgot, I need to put a comma here. Let's learn this and see df2. So this is my df2, and I've made this one customizable because of the diagram that I want to show you. So we want to plot a surface plot. So let's say I plot here and put here kind. I want it to be a surface plot, and let's put the color scale to, now these color scales are actually predefined, so you need to check them on Plotly website. So the color scale works like this. RD stands for lead. Then you start from lead, go to yellow, yellow, like that. RD lead, YLL, and blue BU. Let's click this, and it will draw our data set. It's going to take a little bit, but it will draw. So this is the dataset that we were drawing and customizing. So it's a very, very unique dataset because we are seeing it on a lower aspect ratio screen. That's why it looks like this. But for those who have working maybe in the medical sectors, they can appreciate these kinds of datasets in Plotly. So that's how you can work around with such kind of beautiful 3D dataset in Plotly. So let's continue by also adding, for example, if we are saying we want to add the maybe df right here, and we only add one column, then just say dot iplot here, and maybe I want to have kind histogram, that is, you can just say hist, and let's go to number of bins. So make sure that your number of bins are adequate enough so that we can see, and these are the number of bins, and they are also interactive. You can actually do the check for how interactive are they, and you can also just say df dot iplot and hist. Now it's going to do that automatically, as we've seen in other visualization, because if I run this, you see it has actually made it automatic, and we can actually remove this. It's the same as this one, and now because in here we have increased number of pins, if we just remove the number of pins, you see it's the same as this one right here. So that's how you can make interactive ways of using Matplotlib. Now I can also use a split. Now people who are in forex trading, they can actually appreciate how these diagrams work. I think they look exactly like the diagrams in forex trading applications. So if I say here A and B, and I say dot iplot, I can just say kind should be equal to split. Learn this. Let's take a look. So don't worry about this warning. They are just saying that some other features will not work in the future and whatnot. Now you can see that this looks like the same way. Now the split is just the difference between from here to here, so that you can actually calculate the split in this section, the depreciated and appreciated section. So those who are into forex trading, they can appreciate these maps. So anyway, if you want to make sure that these numbers don't overlap, make sure you are doing this on a large screen. I think if I can zoom out, yeah, and you can appreciate that it has increased. So yeah, that's how you can, if you are working maybe in a large screen, this will look good as well. Now we also have bubble graphs or bubble visualization. I can just say df.iplot. Then in here, let me just say kind is equal to bubble. So this may look familiar with the scatter, but I can just say bubble right here, and it requires x parameters, and just like this, it requires also y parameters. I can just put b here, and let's increase the size. Now the size, I want to increase it with respect to parameter c. Then if I run this, you see now we have different bubble sets. Now we have different of them, and you can actually zoom out, zoom in to see the bubbles. So these bubbles are with respect to a and b, and you can add y and y label and x label inside the function right here of iplot. Now lastly, we can have scatter plot. So scatter plot is the same as the pair plot, and you can just say dot scatter plot, not scatter plot but scatter matrix, by the way, sorry. And if we run this, and it's the same as that one, you can see it's also a feature from Plotly. And yeah, this is what you can do. It's individual graphs. That's why you can zoom in and zoom out with individual graphs. But however, these ones are so tacked together. So make sure you're using in a bigger screen, because this thing is very responsive, unlike what we are doing with Matplotlib. So anyways, thank you very much for joining the part 1 of Plotly, and I'll see you in the next session of Plotly. Thank you very much.